Hey, PGA members and associates, it's Jackie Madison, PGA Career Consultant for the Gateway and Midwest PGA sections. March Madness is my favorite time of the year. There is something special about the college basketball championships that differs from all the others. Anyone can win, and underdogs can prevail in the biggest moments. I love a good sports movie, and in my humble opinion, Hoosiers is the best sports movie of all time. I still cry when Jimmy makes the shot after 35 years of watching it. Officiating is always a hot topic of discussion during March Madness and the source of one of my favorite quotes from the movie. So I thought I would share some key points that I learned as a basketball official that can serve us well in the golf industry. There's some guiding principles that basketball officials work by, and the first one starts with the pregame meeting. During the meeting, we would prepare ourselves for the game physically and mentally, and we set the tone for our communication. And our pregame meeting typically started an hour before tip-off. Colleagues in other areas of our industry sometimes call this a stand-up to address the issues of the day. You may need these types of meetings daily and weekly. In our pregame meeting, we would stretch. We would talk about the matchup. Did we have a rivalry game where we expected some chippy behavior? And how would we set the tone for the game from the coaches' meeting to the first few possessions? In golf, this pregame meeting might look something like a start of shift meeting for outside services and a start of tournament meeting for a couple of minutes to get things set up and organized. These could be preliminary meetings to organize events and do longer term planning. So make sure that you have a pregame meeting, whatever your version of it is. It helps get everybody organized on the same page and set the tone for whatever it is that you're going to do. The guiding principles, we had 5 guiding principles that we really lived by as sports officials, and we talked about them. Every crew I ever worked with, and we worked with different crews all the time, so you had to get really good at communicating. But we always talked about these 5 things in the pregame meeting. Hustle, don't guess, be in the right position, officiate your primary, and trust your partners. So hustle, let's start there. Don't rush, but work hard. Focus, concentrate, and give your best effort. Follow through on what you say you will do. Don't guess. If you don't know the answer, get one. Don't just make something up or commit to something that you can't make possible or be consistent with all members or patrons. Be in the right position. In officiating, being in the right position means that you're able to see between a 2-player matchup. In the golf industry, it means being where you should be when you should be there, making a lap around the course at the appropriate time. If you make one in the morning and you make one in the afternoon, you're going to see just about everybody who played that day. Be present for big events unless there's a family commitment or emergency. Check in with all your staff in all the areas of the department regularly. And there's a reason that warm welcome and fond farewell is a statement that so many of our industry colleagues use because it creates a lot of goodwill. So be in the right position. We talked about officiating your primary, and that means watching your part of the floor and don't make calls where you should not be looking. If you make calls outside your primary, it means that no one was watching what you were responsible for looking at. Not long ago, I was at a leadership event and I heard 2 people in leadership positions bashing their colleagues from another department. This is a perfect example of not officiating your primary. To my knowledge, neither one of these people had ever worked a day in that department and had no firsthand experience in that area. If the shoe had been on the other foot and it would have been, say, people from food and beverage who were complaining about how silly golf professionals were, they would not have appreciated their colleagues having that same discussion. So officiating your primary in golf means focusing on what you can control and communicating clearly with your colleagues in other departments about information you need to make your collaborative efforts go smoothly. What information do you need? When do you need it? And what do they require from you and when to make your joint collaboration succeed? And finally, trusting your partners. It's easier to officiate your primary when you trust your partners. Co-workers in your department, your direct reports, colleagues from other departments, your boss, owners, and management assume good intentions and that they are making the decisions they make with the best information they had available at the time and for the best possible good of the company. and trust that the people that they are giving a good effort. So we talked about all of those things, and then finally we'd have a meeting at halftime, but we also had a post-game meeting. So immediately after the game, we'd go to the locker room, we'd talk about what we did well. Did we make a mistake? Did we make an error in judgment? Were we out of position to make a call? Did we make a mistake in applying the rules? And how can each of us improve for the next game? How could we prepare our mind and bodies to leave and move on to what's next and be better tomorrow than we were today? So spend 10 to 15 minutes at the end of your day reviewing, reflecting, organizing for the next day or the next week, and have a debrief for each event, including asking for feedback from the participants. What was good? What went wrong? Were we prepared? And what can be improved for the next time, even if it was something that was on the good list. There's lots of leaderships, both personal and corporate, that you can take from sports officials. So challenge yourself to learn from these principles. If you're a Hoosiers fan, text me the line that Coach Dale uses to an official that got him ejected, and I'll buy you a beverage on my next stop at your facility. That's all for this month. Enjoy March Madness, appreciate the beauty of spring, and our other favorite spring event, the Masters. Please reach out if there's anything I can do to help. Thanks so much and have a great day.